There we go. So sorry. There we go. Everybody's recording now. Alrighty. So the time being 7 p.m. on February 19th, 2019, we'd like to call our Board of Health meeting to order. The first thing on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, and we all let's stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. If you guys would care to join us here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty. Next on the report.
Oh, members present.
Oh, thank you. Members present. Thank you so much. Marty Goletti is out sick. Alex Haggerty, Chris Schultz must be doing his Boy Scout meeting. Terry Mays, Linda Dickey, and myself, Susan Emery, are the members present. Thank you so much. And the next thing on the agenda would be Alex's report.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so for this meeting...
Welcome.
Hey, Chris.
Thank you. Chris just came in, Mary.
All right, cool. We were just starting the substance awareness update. All right, okay. All right, for this meeting substance awareness update, I want to report on the progress that is being made in communities to prevent and help stop addiction overdoses, new proposals to preventing unborn children from being poisoned by substances, and also the Brook Recovery Center coming to Abington. So, first on my update, according to the Massachusetts Department of Public Health, Massachusetts has had a 4% decrease in opioid-related deaths in 2018. Plymouth County overall had a 20% decrease in opioid-related deaths, according to the Plymouth County Drug Task Force's Public Safety Subcommittee. So the 20% decrease, that's where that one came from. In order to achieve this decrease, the task force holds drop-in centers at various sites across the county each week. In addition, healthcare providers who help with treatment options and train and distribute the overdose reversing drug of Narcan are at these drop events as well. These decreases are made possible by community activity and helping one another. Working together is key to preventing and stopping addiction. So that's good to hear from our numbers, definitely from last year. Especially with the report that came out last year about Abington being a high percentage of drug overdoses.
Yes.
And this one I kind of changed a little bit currently, but I feel it's important to substance awareness and drug addiction. Currently in Tennessee, the state legislature has proposed House Bill 1168, which if set into law, could prosecute women who use illegal drugs and substances during pregnancy. According to the proposed legislation, if a woman uses an illegal narcotic while pregnant, and if the child is born addicted to the drug or harmed by it, could be charged for assault. If the woman is active in addiction, of course, now this is an exception, if the woman is active in addiction recovery programs and completes it, the charges may be lessened. The only reason I bring it up, so currently in Massachusetts has laws that prosecute women who drink during pregnancy as of 2016. According to the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, NIAAA, so that's where that stat came from. I think it would be an important piece of legislation for our state to investigate, perhaps look at, and how to prevent addiction. We definitely want to make sure that, kids and children in the womb before being born, we don't want them being addicted to drugs or alcohol, what have you. And lastly, one of the last two things, as of Tuesday, February 12th, 2019, the Brook Recovery Center has passed inspection by the Department of Public Health. And it is expected to open its doors on March 1st, 2019. The location is at 673 Bedford Street in Abington. The Brook Recovery Center will be a licensed day outpatient treatment center mixing clinical and medical programs with life-changing 12-step spirituality. I firmly believe that the Brook Recovery Center in Abington will be a tremendous asset to our citizens and to the public health, not just to Abington alone, but all the surrounding towns. The citizens of Abington need to have this institution like this present as an outlet to seek positive help and encourage to a path of recovery into a better and healthier life. I will continue, of course, to always be in touch with the Recovery Center and its founders. I talk to them regularly, which is great, and the center is coming along quite nicely, and so sometime in the middle of March or April, excuse me, they're going to be having an open house, for the public to see. But they do open on March 1st, and if anybody wants any more information on the Recovery Center, the Brook Recovery Center, you can check out their website, which is at their home address, which is in the main office is in Plimpton. It's called the Brook Recovery Center. Brook Retreat. Brook Retreat. And you can visit their website at www.brookretreat.org. And also, of course, as always, the next Abington Substance Awareness Coalition meeting will be held on Wednesday, March 13th, 2019 at 7 o'clock on the bottom floor here at the Town Hall. Of course, everyone is always welcome to come if they want to get involved. There's a lot of programs that they're starting, a lot of community involvement, especially with the younger ages, getting them aware, starting with 5th to 7th graders, excuse me. So with that being said, that was my substance awareness update for the week.
Thank you so very much. Does anybody have any questions for Alex? Alrighty. So, I guess we will move on to the next item on the agenda, which would be the ban on plastic bags. And I understand, Linda, you brought this.
I did actually have this put on the agenda for tonight. And I know you guys all saw that because you put it up on Facebook, and I saw a lot of those responses. I just think that it's a good thing for us to do. Plastic bags take hundreds of years to decompose, and they're hazardous to the wildlife. The North and South Rivers Watershed Association is urging residents in local towns to vote in favor of the bag bans. No, they're not the only plastic that we could get rid of. We recently banned styrofoam. A lot of people think that was just for the environment. It wasn't. It's also for your health because of the polystyrene that causes cancer that's in styrofoam. So basically, I wanted to see how the rest of the board members felt about this. We have 92 communities in Boston already, or in Massachusetts already, that have banned bags. So I just think it's a good place to start.
Well, why don't we start with board members, and maybe we'll go one
See
by
how
one,
everybody
just for
feels.
everybody's benefit, and for Mary, who has to record these minutes. Alex, do you have any thoughts?
So I understand, the reasoning for the ban and everything. I know it started off in California because the overflow of trash and recycling that was in the ocean. But since 2016 that they've implemented this ban on plastic bags, the amount of plastic in the oceans on that shore has not decreased. So there hasn't been a change in that. Not only that, too, cost effective for businesses in town. Like I'm sure, because the proposed, what some towns have done is they can have plastic bags at the stores, but either the establishment, the business will have to pay a tax for the plastic bags, or the consumer. So if you're going through Stop and Shop or Chuchi's, you'd have to pay maybe 5 or 10 cents for every plastic bag. With taxes so high in Abington, I think that's absurd to even ask for any more money with that. On top of it, True Cheeses probably will have a different outcome for paying for the plastic bags than Stop and Shop will. And, I'm a huge supporter of local businesses in town and everything. So I think, and hearing from Bridgewater, who did this ban, I don't think it will be effective, and it will hurt businesses like True Cheese, where Stop and Shop, they can handle that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a multi-billion-dollar company. But on the same side, it's actually, it's less money to produce the plastic bags than it is to produce the paper bags. And as for a health-wise, it's actually healthier for people to use the plastic bags. There's less contamination, whereas if you used a brown paper bag, there's more, like, especially with produce, there's a lot the toxins the paper bag will get into the food. So I think it would be a kind of, in a way, a health hazard just to have the paper bags.
Well, this is just opinion, so.
Oh, no,
we're
absolutely,
gonna-
and this is why I'm just sharing all this information.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just expressing the situation too.
Awesome.
And actually, at the same rate as well, I understand the whole plastic bags degrading from either 10 years to 10,000 years. It takes that long.
Sure.
But at the same time, the paper bags are also not environmentally friendly as well.
Okay.
Personally, I wouldn't, I mean, of course, I've also talked to many businesses in town and a lot of people in town. Of course, I have my own personal opinion on this, but I think as Chris and I have done, we've reached out to the town as well.
I'm curious, how did your poll come out?
So the poll, I actually had to change it a little bit.
Okay.
So, because not everybody who's in Life on Abington or Life on Abington Uncensored, you know, not everybody who votes on that lives in Abington.
Right.
So we had to break it down between residents.
Sure.
So people who were for the ban, it was 141 and then for yes for the ban was 74. So I'm going to put my personal opinion aside, but it's like, if this is what this is what the town wants.
All right.
Can I just say, we do have
Yeah.
over 15,000 residents, so.
Well, but at the same, well, sure. But at the same token, though, we also voted to have retail marijuana because there was, excuse me, we had a town meeting where we were in that margin of where we could either take a step of not having retail marijuana in town or have it in town. And I mean, not all 15,000 residents showed up. It was, it was between 100 people. It was 100 to 200 people. So I mean, I think it goes both ways, So.
I just wanted to I think that there's a bunch of people here that want to talk.
Yeah.
Do you mind, Chris? Would you like to weigh in?
Yeah. I've got various conflicting feelings on this. I'm a steward of the environment. I practice leave no trace. I hate plastic bags. But also, on the other side of that, these are items that are 100% recyclable. And there are other ways that we could deal with this beyond legislating. So what I think I would like to do is, as a board, have some time to look at some alternatives and see if they are actually practical or not.
I think that's going to be what happens here, but I like that we're talking about it, and I want to give everybody a chance.
Yeah.
So, and everybody a chance to say everything that they want to, and including our guests. So, did you have anything to add, Chris?
No, Alex and I both did conduct a rather unscientific
how did yours
study.
come out?
Well, at the risk of alienating and irritating a very small but vocal part of our population, the people that supported the ban seemed to be, they had facts to back up their opinions, or were just generally for it. People who were against it tended to be very emotional and ignorant of the actual facts. But again, we're talking about a very, very small part of our population.
I wouldn't say ignorant, so.
I read it all.
There's the connotation and the denotation of the word, and ignorant of the facts is a lot of what I saw today. It's people reacting emotionally.
I understand you didn't mean it in its
Yeah,
harshest.
I think there's no basis whatsoever in either of those, other than a very small pulse.
Absolutely.
But my thought is we need some time to look at what actually
agree.
works, I think.
If you're done, I'd like to go on to Terry.
Oh, I'd like to thank Linda for putting this on the agenda. It's coming, so it's either now or when the state goes for it, and I do support it. for several reasons. It's bad for the environment, it's the greenhouse gases, and, we're getting gigged quite often in our trash pickup because people putting plastic bags in the recycle truck. So we get gigged on that. So
We do.
not only would that be good for the environment, it would help us in not getting gigged in our trash pickup. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you for your opinion and for stating it so eloquently. Thank you, and thank you too for the same. Linda, well, we know you brought it up.
Yeah, and I had Mary run off all the paperwork for you guys, and Boston just did this. They still haven't, they started with stores 20,000 feet or larger, I believe, and then stores that are 10,000 feet. So the smaller stores get more time. It'll take a few years for even theirs to be
Yes, yeah, the
completely-
styrofoam ban took 2 years too,
Yeah,
so, yeah.
So just some
Yeah.
information for you to look over and
If-
think about.
Excellent.
Thank
If you
you.
don't have anything else, I'd
No,
like to open
I
it
don't.
to our guests. I would just like to remind, if you have an opinion on this, if you could please come up, have a seat.
Yeah.
Please state your name and your address, because we are being filmed, number one, and we also have this recording device, and Mary doesn't have the benefit of your very attractive face to put it with the name. So does anybody like to add to our conversation on plastic ban? No? All right. Well, excellent. Well then, I think that we'll put this on we'll investigate it, we'll get some pros, get some cons, and put it on again. This won't be an overnight thing by any stretch. The next thing on the agenda was the food code update. I had asked Marty how the food code updating was going. He says it's coming along nicely. I think that he's also moving along with his whiteboard monthly inspection report, which I've been looking at, and that's working successfully for him. Marty is sick, so he will not be joining us. The next thing on the agenda, and I had to write myself a note, is, and I'm hoping that you all got the forwarded of the ASPR TRACIE, and that is the Assistant Secretary for Preparedness and Response. And they do, as you know, we have the NIMS and the ICS and the emergency preparedness classes that we've all taken. But these are webinars, and they're put out under the Technical Resource Assistance Center for Information Exchange, and that's what the Tracy part stands for. I sent those links out to you all because they will give you free webinars. All you have to do is sign up for it and then sit in front of your computer for that hour and gain that education that they're disseminating. It doesn't cost you anything, but you do have to pre-register. I just wanted it to be dropped in your mailbox if you had the time or were so inclined. Once again, it's free, and it's put out by the Assistant Secretary for Preparedness and Response, and it's good little
Thank you.
things to
Yep.
do. Yeah, you don't have to, but couldn't be easier. They send them out like 10 times a year. So for 10 months, they'll give you, this date and that date. So I just wanted to share that information with you all and with everybody else. Next on our agenda is the rabies clinic. I understand we have a rabies clinic set up for May 11th. I had myself a little note here. Linda, you've been able to help out
Yep.
in the
every year.
past. Are you going?
I can do it. Is that, on a Saturday? Yep. I
It
can
is.
do it.
Now, in the past, so this is is this the first you're hearing of this?
No, we usually set this date at the end of last year when we did it.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
we set
right,
it
so
with the
you did
girls
know.
here. They talked to Dr. Curtin, which I don't even think it's him running it anymore. There's a new doctor there.
Right, it is, I would like to
Um,
mention that it's
I've actually seen-
$15
yes.
this year, people, to $15, and you're all covered. And
And if-
Linda, Adam. Oh, no.
no,
Leanne.
that's Leanne. Leanne will be here to get your licensing that day also.
Our
But
previous
bring
clerk
your
was Linda
license from last year. If you bring your 1-year rabies certificate, you can get a 3-year. Or I believe,
That's a good,
I can't
that's good
remember if last
information.
year she told us they're all gonna be 3-year from now on. Just bring it just in case.
We'll put an update on our next meeting, just because it's just that much closer, so that everybody can get their eggs in a basket. they?
I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah, I don't have any pets in my life, so I don't know anything about rabies. And thank you, Linda, as always, for taking time.
Usually we have 2 volunteers if anybody else, usually the health agent, I've done it with the health agent.
Okay,
Actually,
Tim
Tim
did
and
it
I
last
did
year.
it last year. We
Yes.
did it last year, so
Tim Chapin is in the audience.
if anybody else would like to help, yes, sorry.
Not that anybody knows.
Sorry.
So, yes, yes, thank you, and, next time I'll probably ask you, because I know in years past, the town clerk has been able to, and then you can
Yes.
register the dogs at the same time, which, being a pet owner, must be an enormous savings in time to be able to get everything done all in one.
Well, for people that can't get to town hall during the week, it is good, because it's on a Saturday morning. Most people have the weekend off.
Right, and it's so nice that she does that. So, thank you, Leanne, our town clerk, not Linda. Dickie. All right, okay, so the next thing up is our compost site volunteer update. And I take it you guys, I sent the letter out to Rick LaFont, and we sent a letter out to Rick LaFont, and we asked for our compost site volunteers to be quarried and sorried, and we got an affirmative on that.
Oh, that they're gonna be both?
I received an email from Rick LaFont. I read it right before I came in.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I saw his response earlier that he wasn't sure that we
Yeah.
needed both, and he wasn't even
1
sure of the
o'clock.
difference.
Yeah, he said.
Yeah.
He said.
I was like, really? He doesn't know the difference?
Well, he does now,
Good.
and he sent me a letter about later this afternoon, but I didn't have a chance to check my email until right before we came, and I did. So thank you, Rick LaFont, and Chief Majensky, for you guys working together on that, for that extra layer of protection for our town citizens. And I appreciate that, I really do.
Me too.
Yeah.
Audience?
Anybody in the audience have anything to say about that?
When is the compost site, when is the volunteer time needed?
The volunteers are, and if anybody wants to volunteer, we are accepting volunteers. Very gratefully. The compost site usually opens up, what is it, the mid to late April? It's usually, I could probably
Yeah,
find it
I
on my
think-
phone, but I'm afraid to turn it back on because somebody might call me then.
I think mid-April.
I think it's mid-April, yeah. It might even be like April 10th somewhere, but that's kind of close to mid-April, depending on how the weekends go. Yes, if anybody wants to volunteer, that would be greatly appreciated. 781-982, what's our phone number?
211.
2119. I almost gave out the 2145, which is the seniors.
I could be mistaken, but I do not think that the volunteers are through the Board of Health. That's through the senior center, am I?
They have to, yes.
Senior volunteers.
Yes,
Council on Aging.
but we have people, we have the stuff to start them off with.
Okay.
So I guess we could be a first step, but if it is more accessible to the senior center, you can volunteer that way too. I just know you can.
Yeah, but it would be good for Marty and Mary to get a head count, definitely,
Yeah.
too.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah, because, and it's a lot of fun, actually. I've done it myself. You grab yourself a cup of coffee, you see everybody, and it's just a good time.
What do you do when you're there?
Well, what you do there is, so we have, the compost site has scrap metal, and there's a bin for that, and everything's very clear. We take in TVs for a little bit of money. You have to be paid with a check. And there's a fee schedule that's right down there in several places and on the website. I've in the past printed one out for me, just to have, because it's hard to remember, like a flash, I don't know, some certain kind of a light bulb might be $3, a printer might be $5. But we take all that stuff, and that's for the benefit of the citizens, so that they don't have to go so far away to recycle their products.
What about
There is a styrofoam bin down there right now, but I think that our present health agent might be looking to discontinue that. We used to have a path for it to go to be recycled, and I think that path is evacuated, to tell you the truth, which is kind of too bad. But, so I think that was it. Yeah, we need some volunteers, and it is a good time. It's a couple hours, and lots of people will bring you a cup of coffee. So does anybody else have anything else on the compost site volunteers? No. Thank you so much. And next.
Motion to approve the minutes of February 4th.
Second.
Excellent. So everyone has approved the minutes of February 4th. Are they here?
No.
Oh, do you want,
Oh.
I have a copy. I gave you.
That's all right. I'll stop in because I have to sign them. So I'll stop in and I'll see Mary tomorrow and I'll
Actually,
sign
no,
'em.
I have a copy of
All
them.
those in favor?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? So that was,
Unanimous.
everybody was
500.
here, 500 on the minutes. Next up, we have an item that I asked to be put on, and does anybody object to me discussing the trash one-day delay because I did not have a chance to put it on the agenda? I did get a copy of the open meeting law that allows me to discuss this. If nobody objects, I'll just move on with that discussion.
No
Go
objection.
right ahead.
Thank you, I appreciate that. There's just, was no way for me to know on Thursday
Yep.
that they were gonna cancel the trash on Monday. Republic canceled the trash on Monday. I don't know if they told Marty, but they didn't really tell the office at all. I think they decided to do it on Sunday. They changed their machine. The machine was, I actually wrote down, Republic Services has suspended services for Abington residents for February 18th. We hope to reopen on Tuesday, February 19th, with a one-day delay until the end of the week. But that was representing to me a lot of phone calls saying, hey, when's the end of the week? Because my rubbish day is Friday. I thought that was the end of the week. And yeah, they are going to come out. So they are going to be picking up the Friday trash on Saturday, and everything else is just a one-day delay. I think you guys understand that I just could not have known this on Thursday afternoon, and I wanted, where we have this opportunity of the public here and the Abington CAM, to let the public know that this is not, number one, wasn't a decision that we made. Republic decided to do it for the safety of their workers, and that's their call, and I, have every respect for them. I just don't want anybody to think it was our decision and that we were holding back. We did put out an Excel on Monday afternoon. I reached out to Linda about doing it, and I did it. So that's that. Did anybody here want to discuss the trash delay?
So
Yeah.
I
apparently.
think most people figured it was the snow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a normal day that we,
No.
Yeah.
Apparently, one resident in town got a call, a robocall.
yes, I did
do we
see
know-
that.
Is that a thing?
I didn't respond to that. I think that sometimes, a lot of people are reluctant to give out their phone numbers for things as they don't want robocalls. I myself have a landline and a cell phone, but I forward everything to my cell phone, so I'm not gonna get a robocall. There's a lot of reasons why people wouldn't get robocalls.
Yeah, I mean, one person in a town of 15,000 people. So I'm asking, is this a thing? Does Republic do robocalls? Do we know? Is that part of our contract, or is that just somebody who was off their meds?
I don't know about anybody's particular medication and what they took or what they didn't take. But I can't speak to that. That would, I guess, would be a question for Republic.
So we
Yeah.
can call them and find out.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a 1501. This is 1-800-659-1501. I think I know the number by heart. I think that's their phone number. All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion to adjourn, we have a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, so that's a 5-0-0. We are adjourning. Alex, would you mind shutting
Yeah,
off?
I will get that.
I appreciate that so much.